Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Hazelnut with chocolate creamer again. It's decaf. Folgers. It's one of my favorites. Well, today it's going to be 85, and there's a chance of thunderstorms, but it's a small chance, so I think I'm going to have to get out in the garden a little bit. I haven't been out there in days. And do a little watering. So Mom's doing okay. She's back home, back to herself. Don't know exactly what the issue was, but she recovered nicely. So all's well in the world for today so far. So I need to get back to the decluttering. Today the fellow that's going to do my front window is supposed to come and measure. So I'm hoping that I'll have enough cash together to pay for the window at least. And then the roof I'm going to have to finance. But that's okay. I don't want my house to go downhill and lose value. So having a sound roof before it can cause damage to the rest of your house once it starts leaking, like in my garage, it does cause damage, and then you end up paying more for repairs. So I want to be a little proactive. My roof is 20 years old, and that's pretty much the life of the roof, because it was builder's grade, so the new roof that I'm getting is, in my opinion, more attractive anyway, and it's not any more than another type of roof, so that's what we opted for. My friend and I were going to both have it done since our houses are attached at the garage. They're considered to be attached cluster homes, so they're not condos, they're attached cluster homes. So anyway, if she's getting a new garage roof, it would look kind of weird if I didn't get the same roof. And the fellow was saying that it's better to just do a continuous roof on the garage rather than do half and do half later, because he said, they can't really guarantee that there'll be a solid seal between the seams. So anyway, that's the plan for the roof. And yesterday, on the way home from my mom's, I picked her up at the hospital and stayed with her for a while to make sure she was all right. And then on the way home, I stopped at Aldi's because I figured it was right on the way. And I figured there's no point to having to go out again and wasting the gasoline and the time. So I just did a small shop at Aldi's. And actually, I'm kind of liking these small shops rather than a once-a-month big, huge shop, because then I have to drag all those bags in. I have to put everything away all at once. And I find that I find that having smaller, I don't know what you want to call them, shops, that putting the stuff away isn't as big a deal and bringing it in isn't as big a deal. And so this month it's actually been easier doing that. So I might do that from now on. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to make 20 different trips, but Mark's is in a different direction than Aldi's, and I can have Walmart delivered. So I think that's going to be my new strategy. I'll just have Walmart delivery, which I've had many times in the past, and I'll just make a trip to Aldi's, and then on a different day make a trip to Mark's. So anyway, always trying to adjust my routine to make life easier and to make it better for me with my joint issues and So, and to just, make life easier. So, okay, let's try and give the coffee a taste. Cheers. Yes. And I'd like to thank everyone who sent prayers for my mom. They were much appreciated, and apparently it worked out well. So thank you so much for keeping my mom in your prayers. And you kept me in your prayers too. So for that, I'm very thankful. So I finally dropped off my library books, and I renewed a couple of them that I didn't get around to reading. But I did take the cookbooks back, and I have plenty of recipes for using up the food that I already have in the freezer. So, and I have a lot of cauliflower out there that's just leaves. There's no actual head of cauliflower. So I looked up a couple recipes for using the cauliflower leaves, and it said you can use them in stir fries and in soups and stocks, so I don't know, maybe I'll make a soup. We'll see. So anyway, I will put my shop in after I take you to my budget book, and then I'll show you what I bought. Okay, so yesterday I did spend money after I picked my mom up from the hospital, and on my way home I stopped at Aldi's because it's literally, I drive right past it. So I'm going to show you what I bought. I wouldn't even call it a haul. It was a little grocery pickup. And the day before that, with the other Red X, I had another little grocery pickup. So I still have to go to Mark's. There's certain things that I get at certain grocery stores. And I find that that's the place where they're usually the cheapest, and that's the only place where I can get that product. So I like to stick to basic things that I like and always use. I don't change up my shopping list too much. In fact, I have a permanent shopping list that I really don't use, but I do have it. And I actually have it here in my budget book. But when I make my list, I usually buy the same things. And it's not like a very small window of products. I mean, I can make a lot of things out of the products that I buy, out of the groceries I buy. But they are mostly basics. So that's the way I kind of get around buying a lot of expensive groceries that sit there and sometimes I forget about, and then they don't get used. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm liking doing these little shopping trips rather than making one big fell swoop and buying everything in one day and then having to drag it in. And because that always, when I have to carry a lot of heavy things that, like grocery bags, it's really hard on my neck and shoulders. So I think by doing smaller shopping trips, that might alleviate that problem. And I absolutely hate putting a bunch of food away. I just don't find a lot of pleasure in that. So I think by buying fewer things over the stretch of a few days, I think that might work better for me. So that might mean I get a couple more red X's, but that's okay as long as I am mindful of what I'm buying and I keep a track of the things that come into the house. So anyway, that is my thought about that. And without further ado, let me show you what I spent money on yesterday. I plan on staying home today. I don't think I'm going to go to Mark's till next week and finish shopping up because I can stretch out what I have here already in the house. So I don't think I'll go to Mark's until next week. So okay, let me show you what I bought from Aldi's yesterday. All right, well, I'm back from my mom's. She's back home doing fine. Back to her old self. So that's good. At 94. That's always a good thing. So on the way home, I did spend money today. I saw gasoline was $3.19 at one gas station, so I filled up because everywhere else it was like $3.55. So I filled up my tank because I was on a half a tank. So that's good. I mean, price isn't good, but it is what it is. So I got that done, and then on the way to my house from my mom's, I go right by Aldi's. So I figured there were a few things at Aldi's that I had on my list, and I figured, well, I might as well just stop in there and not have to make another trip next week to Aldi's. So let me show you what I bought. And I have two bills here because I forgot a couple things, so I had to go back and purchase those too. But originally I spent $14.92, and I'll show you what I got. So I got these original potato chips because I kind of have a taste for chips and dip. So I picked those up, and I actually ate some with my dinner already without dip. So those were $2.19. And then I was out of corn chips. I've been really liking corn chips lately. So those were $1.69, and it's just the Clancy Aldi's. I was totally out of chips, and I do like something crunchy sometimes. So I got those. I got, the bananas were 46 cents a pound, and I got 2 1/3 pounds. So those came to $1.08. And they're a little bigger than the bananas I usually like to get. I usually like the smaller ones, but I didn't feel like picking through all the bananas, and these were nice because they didn't have any bruising on them. So those will be for snacks and breakfast. I splurged and bought a sourdough. That was $4.19 because I want to have this with cucumbers and cream cheese. And also I have a couple avocados left that I'd like to eat with this. So I really like sourdough. And Aldi sourdough is pretty good. I've had it before. So that was $4.19. I also got this French baguette, and I'm going to cut this in half and freeze it. And I figured I could eat that with some meals as a little piece of bread on the side. So, and that crunches up nice. I like nice, crusty, crunchy bread. And that was $1.69. Then I bought the whipped cream cheese again that I put the powdered ranch dressing in with, and I eat it with cucumbers. Really good. I was totally out of that. And I've been out of that for a while, so that was on my list. This wasn't on my list, but I figured I like their chunky salsa at Aldi's, and this is the mild one. I like this brand, and this has just enough heat. So the chunky salsa was $2.19 Yeah, $2.19, and altogether I spent $14.92. So not a whole lot of stuff for $14, but you know, if you buy it at a regular grocery store, it would be even more. So I checked out, and then it's like, well, shoot, I don't have any dip for the chips, which is kind of why I bought the plain chips. So I went back in, and I bought sour cream. I was going to buy chip dip, but the chip dip was like $3.68 or $3.86, something like that. It was a bigger container, but I don't need a container that big. So I opted for the sour cream, and that was $1.69. And I figured I have like the Lipton onion soup mix, and we always used to make dip out of that. So I'm going to make at least half of it. I'll make into a chip dip. And then I was out of hummus, and I know I could get a can of chickpeas and make my own, but this was $1.99, and it's vegan and gluten-free, and it was garlic dill. I've never tried that one before. Usually I get roasted garlic, but that sounded good. And there's a gas station around here where I live, and they have a dill pickle hummus that I really like. So I thought I would try that. And theirs is a little container like this, and it's over $3. That's what it used to be. I haven't bought it in a long time. So I ended up spending $3.68 on that. So not quite $20, 18 something. So between that and the stuff I bought yesterday, I do still have a Mark's shopping list, and I'll probably go there next week. But anyway, that was my little small haul, and this is kind of to complement the things that I have already in the fridge and freezer. So that's what I bought. So all right, that's my haul. Mom's doing good, and I'm kind of exhausted. You know, when you have all that emotional stuff going on, it kind of makes you really exhausted once it's all over and done with. So I'm going to go relax now and have something nice and cold to drink, and I'll be back later. Well, I'm out here in my garden. I haven't been out here in a few days because I was at the hospital with my mom, and just life happening. So we had a couple storms, and I'm just flabbergasted at how everything has grown. So I have a zucchini growing in here, but I'm getting all male flowers now. But I do have one zucchini. Yay! So I'll eat that. But look at the size of these flowers. They are huge. They're as big as my hand. Bigger. I know you can eat these. I should try and make a recipe with the male flowers. But my nasturtium is doing great. All my marigolds have just gone crazy. So, and one of the limbs is breaking off of my redbud, so I have to cut that off. But I won't have to cut the whole tree off because it's broken right there from the storm. But the rest of the tree is still okay. So I'll just let that part grow. But yeah, it's like, wow, I can't believe how much everything has grown. And the squash and the zucchini and the eggplant. I have a little eggplant coming. And Bandit's helping himself to lettuce. Do you want lettuce? Go ahead, you can eat it. Go ahead. Eat it. Here, have some lettuce. There you go. Well, eat it. He's just going to shred it. No, he'll eat it. They like it. It's all gone to seed anyway. Let's see what he does. Oh, there he goes. He and Lizzie are going to have breakfast. I should try and plant some more lettuce, but I think it's still too hot. But I got a lot of lettuce, so I'll try it. So anyway, I have to pull all these. They're kind of weeds, but they have really pretty little pink flowers. I don't know what those are. If you guys know what they are, leave me a comment below. But my impatience have gone wild. And look at these coleus that I winter sowed. Look at the size of these puppies. I mean, they're huge. I need to put them in a pot. But they're still in the winter sowing bag. And these have gotten huge. And my mojito is huge. It's beautiful. And it's got all kinds of little babies coming. And look at the size of this. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I really want to save this plant over winter. And I still have celery growing in the bag. I need to put those in a pot. And I need to put these in a pot. And then that's it. But look at all these impatiens. They have gotten so big in the last couple days where I haven't been out here. And even over there, and I have a volunteer morning glory that planted itself there, so, but that won't bloom yet. So I have to cut this branch off. Got my work cut out for me out here. So let's take a look at the rest of the garden. I have finally a couple of tomatoes coming up here. I have a yellow one that looks like it's about ready to pick. My onions are huge. I have a couple of red ones. This is the size tomato that I like. And that's why I only bought the little cherry tomatoes, because I know these are going to be coming up ripe too. So let's take a look in the garden if I can get in there, because I have all these weeds now that are growing. Let's give it a look-see. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is just amazing. How much this has grown. I thought it was a food forest before. And look at these rescue flowers. They are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I didn't even know what colors they were when I bought them. It didn't matter. But they're really pretty. Look at these. Oh, how pretty are those? I should take cuttings of these. And look at the size of my marigolds. Look at that. Oh, this just makes me so happy. And I still have chard. Lots of chard and kale and chard and weeds. I got weeds in here. My zinnias are doing great. I should make a bouquet. Look at that. Look at the size of these marigolds. I've never seen marigolds this big. Wow. Well, let's mosey on down. And this is... Wow. Look at these flowers. I'm just speechless. I got my celery growing here. More flowers. My cabbage is starting to form a head. This one isn't. This one is too. But something's munching on these. Oh, look at the color of these. They're so pretty. So pretty. I'm so happy with my garden this year, I can't even tell you. So, alright, well, I got a tomato here that broke off. I tried to support it, but yeah, the storm did some damage. But, you know, do the best we can. So let's mosey over here. Got more weeds. I really need to weed. And this has a big, I think this is a, yeah, this is a crim. This is a black crim. It's not ready yet, but that's a beautiful tomato. Got lots coming up here. And let's take a look over here. Oh, something's been digging in here. That makes me angry. Digging up my little apple tree. Ugh. Well, I've got some cucumbers coming along. Somebody knocked over my bird bath. And my grapes. They're doing great. I forget what kind of grapes these are. Planted those a couple years ago. These are beans. Don't have any beans yet, but they're getting flowers. Oh, this tomato isn't looking too happy. Looks like it's got a little blossom end rot. But oh, I need to stake that up too. So anyway, going through the rest of my garden. I've got peppers over there. Lots of tomatoes here. So I don't want to step on my beans. I've got little carrots coming up. I planted those a few days ago. This is a volunteer tomato. I have no idea what that is. And more peppers and tomatoes and onions and yep. I think I'm going to have a good bounty. All right, well, there's an update on my garden. This beautiful chard, Swiss chard, and the kale. All right. That's a little update on my garden for the end of July. Oh, I got some beans coming in here. Have to come out and pick these. Got a few of those. Not too many, but a few. And these I planted in the Dollar Tree stackables. I only planted them too high. So, oh, look at these green onions. They're huge. I better start eating. All right, folks. There's an update on my crazy garden. All right, I'll be back. Well, now that I looked at my garden and it's like, oh my God, it just blew up. It's only been like 2 or 3 days since I was out there, and I cannot believe how big everything got and how lush and beautiful. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what the rain and the storms did to my garden. So anyway, it's still morning. I'm going to finish up my coffee, have a little breakfast, and after I have a meal, I take these digestive aid. They're 1 billion probiotics with ginger and aloe vera, and they're gummies. So, but anyway, so I need to get out into the garden. I'm going to have to work out in there early because it's going to be hot the next few days. A couple of days are going to go into the 90s. Ugh. But I won't work in the garden when it's that hot. So I still have to go water a little bit because I noticed everything was starting to get dry. But I'm going to need to do garden work early in the day from here on in because the afternoon sun just really wears me out. So, well, I hope you enjoyed my garden tour. I wanted to share that with you because I was just so excited because everything was just so lush and green and so much food out there. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all of it. So I guess I'll give some to family and friends and be happy. I'm happy to share. So, all right, cheers, my friends. I'm going to finish my coffee. I already did my morning pages, and I'm going to get out there and do a little weeding and a little watering, and call it good for the garden today, because I have to do a little bit of house cleaning before the guy comes over to measure my windows. I need to do a little dusting, a little vacuuming, because it's kind of needing it. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.